funny video. Of course, I've got the two cameras rolling, but I keep getting these things. We're gonna call this a Sirius video. This is a Sirius video, but I'm gonna run it like it's a little ad. So we're gonna take the wordplay of Sirius and mix it with Sirius. This is a Sirius video, like I said, and I'm just doing it for a little bit of fun. Anyways, I keep getting these flyers off and on, you know, and I don't know if you've all seen them before. Probably show that in there, probably shouldn't. Sirius, so I said it's a Sirius. Can't get it lined up in the frame. It's a Sirius. It's a Sirius video. Anybody get the pun on that? So, I mean, at the end of the year, they had a deal where you could get like a whole year of radio for an awesome price. And I thought maybe they'd keep that around a while, but they didn't. So it's for the satellite radio. So I kind of wish they would have left that deal for a little longer. I was considering it, but, you know, we'll just go with it. We'll say we're going to get it for the sake of viewership and customership and, you know, subscriptions for them. But right now the deal is $5 for $25. So I just wanted to show the flyer that I keep getting. It used to be 6 months. They cut it to 5. It must really help as far as that goes. But the deal that they had, I mean, it almost seemed like, I think it was giving you almost a whole year for $60 or $90 right at the end of the year. Somewhere in there. And, you know, I don't know, it come and went. And I'm like, I don't really need it right now. So we'll just let it go for now. So anyways, that's why I'm making this quick Sirius radio. Little funny ad because I thought it was funny. Sirius meaning, you know, the spelling of, are you serious? Or Sirius, like Sirius Rising? No, Sirius XM, Sirius Radio. I know it's not as humorful as, you know, my mind is like, thought it was going to be, but sometimes you just got to go with what's going on in the world, and it's as serious as we could get for Sirius. And it's like, you know, we've had them before, and it's nice to have the service, but as you and I all know, there's so many streaming services, even Alexa and the Echo Dot, which probably just heard me from the other room. Luckily, the Fire Stick doesn't kick on when you say it like that. At least the one I got, it's not set for it anyways. You have to hold the button in. But it's, you know, that's a different app, you know, but with all the digital music and, you know, there's some people still having records out there, believe it or not, because they brought vinyl back, which is kind of funny, a few years ago, and they're still out there for the Sirius collectors, which is way different than the radio. But, I don't know, it's just kind of funny. And the other part of it is, you know, in my mind, it's a digital radio, which is cool, it's awesome. And you can stream it to your phone, you can stream it to any device, pretty much. You can probably stream it to Alexa. They could probably find it for you. But in my mind, I'm thinking, why don't, no, seriously, I'm talking seriously here. Why don't Sirius start having mini TVs in their little radios? So, I mean, obviously, if you're driving, you're going to have it shut off so you don't cause a wreck. And you're going to have the radio on. But say you're sitting somewhere before work and you want to watch a video, or if your passenger wants to watch a video built into your Sirius satellite radio, then just do it. It's just a little bit more money. I mean, it's probably way cheaper to make those radios and pack them together, but they still have to have a GPS signal in there to catch the satellite. And with the technology, I'm sure for a little bit of money, they could throw in a chintzy little screen and at least have radios and TVs for the whole family, you know? I mean, seriously, you should be offering these packages for the whole house. Offer me a package that covers all my cars. Offer me one that covers my house. The main entertainment room too. You know, right now I need like 4 or 5 of these Sirius radios, seriously, and throw a little TV tuner in there too, so to give me another format to take away from. I'm not going to mention their names, but the big satellite companies and, you know, those things that run down the highway called cable lines. Not mentioning any companies, but in case you have never noticed, like even the phone company. I mean, I know basically you used to be able to get they had dropped the prices from 40, $50 to 25, and you could get a second line for 10. Why am I bringing this up? I don't know. I am. This is serious. This is serious, and this got nothing to do with Sirius. Maybe down the road, Sirius can throw in some satellite phones. I'm trying to make you some money here. Maybe you can make me some money. Maybe you can compensate me for the ideas. I'm sure somebody's thought about it and you haven't gone with it, and it's your time to. So having a little TV and a little satellite phone. I mean, my goodness. And I'm sure you could do it affordable. I mean, basically what I was bringing up about the phone companies is kind of like after they started buying mergers and this stuff, back from, we'll say, Western Reserve to, I don't remember who was next, to someone, Alta was in there, to some other company, to some other company, to some other company, to finally, I can't remember the other company that got in there now. But anyways, it doesn't even matter the other company that got in there, because what I'm saying is all it did was raise the price. All it did was double the price over time. And instead of getting the bills to where they used to, lower and lower and lower and lower, they don't do that no more. They continually go up. So instead of them phones being 25 or $20 and having a second line, because nobody even has a home phone anymore. Most people I know around here, some remote areas probably doing people that are anti-technology or don't want to spend the money for cell phones or don't have the money for cell phones. And it was nice having a landline, but literally the prices were down to where you could probably have a phone for $10 or $15 a month and a second line for $5. But like, they're not going to do that because all these companies have bought out and this and that and mixed and merged, and all they did is raise the price supposedly for their stockholders. The gas company did it not too long ago. I'm not going to even mention their name. I mean, I should mention their name, but I'm not going to. They merged. One was a company and one was the energy. They merged them, and basically what they did was they raised our bill at least $20 a month or more just from their merger. Just from their merger. They didn't offer any different services. Gas prices were relatively the same, actually at an all-time low from many, recent years. And they're still, as far as I know, fairly low, but it's the point of just the merger caused this. Some people say it's for the stockholders. A lot of people deal with this, their electric bill. If you're outside a corporate area, your electric bill is 2 or 3 times the amount because you don't have any sticking up for you going to bed. The township should be allowed to, if they're not, they should be able to get into contracts for cheaper electric for their residents, just like cities and villages do. And, there's much more that I don't even know about it, but just from what I've heard, that's why some cities have their own little electric companies. I mean, even our little town used to have one years ago, but they convinced by corporate powers and corporate business to have them phase it out because it'd be cheaper for the electric company to do it. And maybe it is, if it wasn't 30, 40 years ago or 50 years ago, for sure it is nowadays because the cost of everything has gone skyrocketed. I mean, just food, utilities, car insurance, house insurance. I mean, years ago people didn't even have to have car insurance, which I'm sure everybody needs it. But sometimes those prices just seem so much higher. It's like all these minimum insurances and bills and utilities that you have to have. I mean, it's obviously some people in the loop is never going to need any assistance, but it's creating where people need more assistance, especially in the winter times in these areas where it's cold and not a lot of jobs and not big paying jobs. So I guess part of this is, and I never wanted this video to go here. This was about a serious, funny radio. I was taking the word serious and combining it with the word serious. So if anybody catch the tone in there, look it up. I'm not a linguistics guy. Boy, I messed that up. In case you didn't realize it, I'm not into linguistics. Whatever. So getting back to the serious topic and conversation of what I moved on to past the radio ad that I just started to try to do to be funny. Is what I'm saying is they keep saying it's for stockholders and corporate this and that and that. Then they lower the corporate tax and nobody's cutting the bills. Stockholders, unless they got a lot of stocks, they're not going to make a lot on it unless they're big stockholders. If they're little stockholders, not so much. And it's like it's supposedly driving the prices up higher. I heard even years ago that they had tried to keep the corporations from getting on the stock market because of the utility corporations, because it drives the prices higher. And if that's true, then the government needs to step in and have some more regulation, not on necessarily like what they do have it, but to regulate it a little bit different so the stockholders' prices aren't driving it up just to make more profits for the stockholder. I mean, that's fine in a free enterprise corporation when you're doing it for merchandise, but when you're doing it for food prices, when you're doing it for basically your utilities, in some places, I mean, it's a necessity to have clean water. It's important to have your city sewer. It's important to have your electric for heat, gas for heat. It's important to have, I mean, in my eyes nowadays, it's important to have cable or the internet or some kind of even satellites that's affordable for people that can't afford it. The government needs to step in. I mean, they're giving free cell phones to people. It's time for you to offer free satellite. For those who truly cannot afford it based on income, then pop them a satellite, pop them a receiver. You can do it by area. It's public. They have public Wi-Fi's and stuff like that. At least give them some kind of affordable signal, because communication is so important to get them involved in the loop. You want them to go out and vote for you, or you just, I want people to go out and vote, but give them a chance to do it electronically. Give them a chance to have the information because they can't afford a TV. And the satellite radio is an awesome idea, but it's not broadcasting local stuff. Give it a chance to have local broadcasting. Give it a chance to have a TV signal. And it would be one format to where you could just be an alternate, where you could step up and say, we're going to cut the prices on the big guys. Yeah, we're a corporation. We're going to cut the prices on the big guys. We're going to take over the market. We're going to infiltrate it. Well, we might even put a regular camera on there instead of just a TV. We're going to give you a GPS phone. We're going to give you a GPS locator. We're going to give you GPS, and we're going to have a Sirius radio combo. I mean, if you could put a heater on it and an electric thing and everything else, that'd be fine. But let's stick realistic here. This is a serious topic and a serious radio. And but it's me being creative, but also talking about some real worldly local issues. And this is just in this country. I don't even want to mention the impoverished countries and the places that are wealthy that don't even know what I'm talking about, and the ones that don't have the communication to find this video. And this is nothing new. This is just bringing up other topics of serious issues of people that are in the level of don't understand that bills and utilities are getting to be so excessive. Then they're at an income level that I hope everybody's at someday. And I'm not going to throw a dollar figure out there, because the more you make, the more you spend, the more extravagant your lifestyle could be. And I'm not judging anybody for doing well, taking the right steps, knowing the right people, coming up with the right plan, being their own entrepreneur, and making the money where they need to. I'm not against that at all. But when there's regulation that regulates the farmers almost out of business, where the corporations are taking over, but then there's no regulation on the steps in between, trucking it here, trucking it there, putting it here, putting it there, moving it all the way to a location that distributes it to a retail store. And there should be at least one chain that's a little bit more affordable to offer prices a little bit more affordable. That's what I'm saying. And it's not even about that. It's more about the public utilities, where once they're in place, it costs them almost nothing. Especially with this technology, unless something goes snafu-y in the computers or the grid or the power systems. Compared to what it used to, it costs them almost nothing from when they first had the technology. And even that's my thing, is it's like, help make it more affordable on a fair income level of the areas, where if you're taking everybody's money towards all your bills and utilities and your insurances and your government taxes and all that stuff, and you're leaving them nothing, then you basically enslave society worse than it already is. I mean, it's bad enough that there's people out there that can't work right now, or they want to work, and they're given such a small amount of insurance. If they're even given insurance, they're given small amount of income, a small amount of bill and utility money, and they're struggling. And it's like, I'm not even talking about, just everybody across the board in general that gets to that point. And my point is, help them out. Help them out. All right. Build this whatever kind of mainstream wall, and let's get back to helping out the people that need it. All right, yes, you're going to help the foreign governments of whatever, for political reasons, of whatever gain it is that it causes, and for whatever reason. And there's a lot of corporate taxes out there. There's a lot of government taxes out there. There's a lot of fees and stuff, and there's a lot of money that changes hands that could be redistributed, not just through the churches, but from our loving government who looks out for our people, to help those in need across the board. Just having decent food on top of decent medical care, on top of decent affordable bills and utilities, so you can afford to have electric heat or gas heat or radiant heat or whatever kind of heat that you need to heat your home when it's cold. And there's money out there, I'm sure, because they always find it when they need it. You know, some people say they've tapped Social Security for trillions of dollars and put them trillions of dollars back. My point is, they need to help more people more often. The working class especially. And, you know, I'm sure sometimes the rich need a break too. But somewhere in there, if the working class is really carrying the burden of taxes, because some people that have a lot more money have smart tax attorneys and lawyers to cover their tracks and make it to where they're following all the regulations and getting the returns that they should as far as saving money. Because a lot of them, I guess, don't even get tax returns. If they file, they either pay in or they don't, because it depends on what their level is. I guess most of them actually pay in. But it's the point of they don't pay as much if they've got a lot of assets covered by different reasons. And you can talk to a tax attorney, a lawyer, or anybody you want to. They can tell you more about that stuff than I can. It's not even supposed to be about that. Heck, this might even turn into a vlog now, because this is a serious topic on top of a serious thing that I started out to be funny. And it was kind of dry, and now it's uplifting. So I might even try and remake that part. But maybe I won't. But anyways, you know, who knows how conversations get there, why it's there, who knows. But the point is there's so many more things that can be done to help people across the globe and even in this country. I mean, this isn't even mentioning just a lot of the poor or even the vets and underprivileged kids and stuff like that. And there's just so many people that could use the help in this country too. And yes, you have to allocate so much money for foreign policy, foreign trade, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. You have to build a wall, which is fine. Okay, build it. You don't have to build it 50 feet high. You know, maybe 12 to 20, whatever it's going to be. And I know that there's already stuff that goes on with the fences and the border security and all that stuff. And a lot of people in the area want this along those areas to help keep people from running through their fields that have crops growing in them, from what I understand. And they have livestock and animals that get in the area down there. So across the board, this isn't even supposed to be about that, but since it's the topic of the day, we're putting it in there. And also, to get away from it a little, I mean, there's a lot of indigenous people in the world that need help. That's why they come to this country, and maybe you need to expand what's going on and decide, you know, a better way to handle those coming in. Maybe make a bigger holding area as far as, like, they used to have Ellis Island. Everybody went there until they were processed. I mean, not detention centers, areas where they bring people in that are applying for their United States citizenship. They obviously have to go and stay somewhere. Then there's obviously ways that they do that now, and you need a little bigger area than Ellis Island probably, and compared to how big that is versus some of the other places with the people they have coming in, because you're always going to have people coming and going, whether it's travel or wanting citizenship. I mean, you never hear them talk about people leaving the country, but people do. I've heard stories, and, you know, I mean, I don't know why anybody ever actually would, and I'm not going to mention no names in particular, but they do.